Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a look at Imperium magazine issues 9 and 10. I'm doing these two issues together because the half sprues and each of them included are for one unit. That's going to be 10 Necron Warriors here. So I myself got sprue A here, sprue A, with issue 9, and sprue B, is this? Yes. Sprue B, sorry, just making sure. Wasn't able to exactly see. Sprue B here with issue 10. And that's quite great value between these two issues. The issues are $14 each. A brand new box of 10 Necron Warriors and the 3 Scarab Swarms, I believe, comes out to $50 or $60 directly from Games Workshop. And if you're buying from CMO Games or any other game store that offers something like a 15% discount on GW, that's still a much better discount here. So starting with issue 9. Issue 9 has all the information needed for assembling our Necron Warriors here, and all the Scarab Swarm included, and I'm assuming this will come with the options of the Gauss Flayer rifle or the regular Gauss rifle. I'm not sure the exact difference. Gauss Reapers or Gauss Flayers, as I'm seeing here. Also included here is just your introduction to Necron Warriors. Their, information on how to name your unit, or their battlefield feats, or anything that you want to add there, and then information about the scarabs themselves as well, included here. Information about the Ultramarines chapter, which is quite a bit of lore in this issue. Psychers, the soulless cohort with the Necrons. I'm guessing just explaining some backstory with the Necrons, witches, Psychers, and so forth. And then the play scenario in this issue is also quite unique. It has nothing to do with the Necron Warriors, because if you only bought this issue or you're getting them individually, you won't have all 10. You will need the next issue for all 10. So here, it has us played through with the 2 HQ choices from each of the army, the Necron Overlord and the Necron, whatever the lieutenant is for the Necron, whatever that's called. The name escapes me because I'm not a Necron player. I will be now with these issues. And then your Space Marine Captain and your Lieutenant over here. And it's just all out battle between the HQs of each unit. Also included with this was this extra little divider that you can use in the binder with the chapter organization of a codex compliant chapter, what the structure will look like in the chapter, Space Marine Brothers in Arms, and then on the other side we've got an Ultramarine Strike Force, which is a nice poster in itself. Here, I'm sure this is box art or promotional art that they use often. Some information about the Strike Force itself, what it looks like, and them fighting against the Death Guard. We have Robogilliman and Mortarion here about to face each other in single combat. It's quite cool. One thing is, I went ahead and took a close look at this earlier, and of all of the units shown, the only firstborn units are these Terminators, the standard Terminators and Assault Terminators here up front with the Land Raider. Everything else I see in the foreground, and here are all Primaris vehicles and Primaris units. And then if we look far back here, behind some aggressors, we see a firstborn Devastator squad. So the lack of firstborn kind of sucks, but it is nice. They're all painted extremely well. All the new Primaris miniatures are beautiful, so there is that going for it. So you have that included divider there. And then moving on to issue 10. Issue 10 introduces us to more information about the Ultramarines, and then a ton of information about war gear, weapons, melee weapons, ranged weapons here. And then some more ranged weapons here, and then the Necron legions, the different dynasties and legions, I guess. And then the different, I guess the legions are the different classes: Warriors, Immortals, Death Marks, and Tomb Blades. And then we have a how to paint section for all 10 of our Necron Warriors and the 3 Scarab Swarms. And again, just like other issues, it doesn't have us prime these at all. We just paint them with the paint that we've already received in the collection, and it just has us base coat with Rune Lord Brass without a primer, and then go in and fill in details, mark white where the eyes will be and where glowing orb effects might be, things like that, black for the under armor, so on and so forth for different colors, and picking out details. It does have us leave us with at least 3 colors on our miniature, 4 colors actually on our miniature, so they're technically tabletop ready aside from basing. And then if you have the steady hand to do all of this even without primer, going back with a wash and doing some selective details and highlights will actually make these look quite decent, especially tabletop. And then going forward, here we have some information about units. The unit coherency must stay within 2 inches of each other if it's a unit, since we have our first large unit in the collection being the 10 Necron Warriors. The only other units we've received are the 3 Assault Intercessors and 3 Aggressors. So this also is true for those other units, but I'm assuming this is more brought up because these will be larger units if you're using them in 5 or 10 in the diagram configuration here. Now here, this playthrough has us play our 3 Primaris Assault Intercessors from previous issues with only 5 of the Necron Warriors in this collection of these 2 issues. And it has us, it looks like, only playing with Gauss Flayers, no Gauss Blasters. So the standard rifle, no special weapon for the Necrons. Again, the name of the weapon escapes me. I'll be picking up that Necron Codex once I get some more of these built up and I have enough of an army to play smaller scenarios, so I familiarize myself better with the Necron Codex. But yes, it has us just play those 3 Assault Intercessors against the 5 Warriors, and then just like every other playthrough, you play with a friend and then rematch and swap out and play the same match with the different miniatures against your friends, so you get a feel for each of the 2 factions. Now when we go to the sprues, these sprues are extremely nice, finely detailed miniatures, as we saw in the issues themselves. They are very thin. They do have some thin shins, some thin forearms and other bits, shoulder parts and things like that, so be very careful with these. I'm going to be snipping them out and putting them all together and showing them off shortly, but just wanted to show off sprues. I know some people like to take a close look at each of the sprues. And again, this top sprue here came with issue 9, this bottom sprue here came with issue 10, then I've got 5 bases and 2 Scarab Swarm bases that came with issue 9, and then additional 5 Necron Warrior bases, and then that one last Scarab Swarm base with issue 10. So that's included with these 2 issues. We'll go ahead and get these miniatures built up, take a quick look at them. If I'm able to dig out one of my old 3rd edition, 4th edition Necron Warriors with the acrylic green rod that's in place of the sculpted detail for the Necron weaponry, I'll dig that out and maybe put them side by side with these. Again, contingent that I even find them. I know I'll have them somewhere. We'll take a look at those shortly. We'll be back with that, and see you then. Alright, and we're back with our Necron Warriors snipped up, cleaned up, and fully assembled here. I'm actually surprised to say that this was a push fit kit. I didn't really need to use glue at all, except for on one foot, and that was my error. I actually twisted one of the ankles so the other foot wasn't actually reaching the base that well, so I just glued it down. As I said, these are quite spindly though. Even though they are push fit, it makes them easier to build, but the limbs are very thin, so you can easily bend or snap them. I luckily didn't snap any, I only bent that one, but that's something to keep in mind. The detail on these guys are incredibly nice. There was more options than I thought. The magazine has us build them with 5 Goss Flayers and 5 Goss Reapers. I personally like how the Flayers look better, which is the single barrel looking weapon, and then the Reaper, I believe, is this one with like the double barrel kind of thing. I didn't glue any of them. It comes with the parts to equip them all with one or the other, so you can swap them out if you're very careful. And then each of them also includes a separate head, so there's 2 head options for each. Essentially, there's 20 heads, and you can use any combination of the 20 heads because they all fit on each body. I went ahead and chose the most damaged looking of the bunch that I could. You'll see ones where there's pock marks and missing armor plates and holes and jaws hanging off on each of the heads, which I was surprised to see these options. But it was a welcome inclusion. And then the scarab swarms in the center. The swarms themselves are one whole piece, and then 2 of them come with tactical rocks, and 1 does not. And they just slot right into the base very easily. A few of these Necrons have some tactical rocks near their feet, just to make them more stable. We can take a closer look at this guy here. This is the one where, if you see closely, I kind of bent the ankle a little bit, so you see some white stress marks on the plastic. And I went ahead and glued this foot down on the other end because he was lurched way further forward than he should be, and it just looked wrong. It started to lift up, but that plastic glue kind of just melted the plastic and stretched out and held the toes there. Once I flocked the base or put some texture paste on there, that'll get covered up, so that can happen easily. Be very careful with that. Back to the value of these guys. If you see these 2 issues on the shelves, if you're a Necron player, pick them up. It's a box of Necron Warriors between 2 issues. If you're paying MSRP for the issues, you're paying around $30. You get that addition of the little bit of information in the magazines, which may or may not be useful to you, but half off a box of Necron Warriors, if that's something that you're looking to pick up, is a great deal. So I would completely recommend it. Again, I recommend every one of these issues if you find them on the shelves of your local store, if it's something that you're looking for, if they're miniatures that you need. And I don't need these, but now that they're filling out a new Necron army, I'll take them. And the sculpts, the designs all look very nice. Other things, some of the limbs are missing armor panels, arms and legs, and make them more zombie-ish or skeleton-ish, which I like that they've gone down that kind of decaying or repairing living metal kind of aesthetic with these, compared to the old Necron Warriors that were literally just, they looked like the Terminator, and they were full metal skeleton bodies, as opposed to these that have variation, that have damage and things like that. A few even have what looks like guts kind of spilling out. Let me see if I grab one here, get a closer look. If we look back there, we see cabling coming down and out of the torso, kind of like guts, giving that idea of, you know, skeleton zombies kind of decaying. And then with the whole living metal motif, I'm assuming these scarabs probably repair the warriors. That's why they're always together. But yeah, it's a cool aesthetic for them that I prefer more than the kind of pseudo-Egyptian and space style HQ units for the Necrons. So they have that going for them, right? Well, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Again, if you find these at your local store and this is something that you're looking to pick up, it's a great discount. There's great value. Feel free to, if that's something that you need. I have the next video for this going up very soon with the next issue. I know that this channel's kind of become Imperium magazine and the US review channel. I have other videos in the works. They're just taking a little extra time between my regular day-to-day and other things. So look forward to all that coming as well, and more Warhammer and Imperium stuff coming too. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.